What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today, my friends, I want to revisit long shooting. And I might call this the ultimate long shot tutorial because we're going to touch base on what you're looking to execute, how to set it up, just how to make your long shots more consistent in FIFA 17, especially if you're focused on FUT champs, where when you're going up against people that are playing so conservatively and they're just using the AI defenders, you've got to be able to take long shots and to score them in big moments. And that's what I wanted to kind of go into more depth. I made a long shot tutorial earlier on in the year, but with more time, got the location figured out a little bit better, got a little more crisp, know which players to use, how to set it up, and I've got a couple theories or myths or secrets in this video that I don't think I've ever seen discussed on YouTube, and I want your opinion, so get in the comments if you have any questions, what you think about a couple of types of ways to set up a long shot. You understand as the video goes on, and if you enjoy the content, drop a thumbs up, share it around the community. If it helped you, it will help somebody else. But without further ado, let's roll clips. I want to start with the traditional. And we're looking at long shots. The traditional deals with the typical across the body, kind of how to set it up. And I'm going to talk about the 4 points that really help you increase your percentages of scoring long shots. Kind of a step 1, step 2, step 3, and then step 4. And in the first freeze frame, we've got Pogba. He's wiggling with the pace control. We open up the angle. Across the body is your friend. And it's always worthwhile if you can glance at the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper will allow you to kind of know how precise you have to be when you're taking this shot, because often goalkeepers are just out of position, and it does depend on the goalkeeper and the scenario, and that's why you want to glance. And they might give you a little bit of a larger margin for error. You don't have to put it directly in the corner. I mean, don't hit it dead center, but you don't have to hit it directly in the corner. And for aiming, it's all about opening up your body and angling the actual player versus trying to compensate on the left analog stick while you're going for the aim. And here's the 4 points. Number 1, location. Where are you taking it from? Number 2, personnel. Are you on his dominant foot, his weak foot? Is he capable? Check the goalkeeper, right? Just talked about that. And then number 4 is going to be powering up the bar. And I found that about 50 to 75% power is a great place. And it does matter what type of player you're using. Someone such as Paul Pogba might need a little bit less power. He generates a lot on his own, and he's better at long shots than most players. Therefore, you have a larger margin for error, like I previously mentioned, where you might not have to be as precise, as perfect. We line it up here, just full extension. And I like to have a right footer on the right side, a left footer on the left side. And this is why we've discussed this with FUT Champ Squad Building. If you have somebody that's right-footed on the right side, we know how overpowered across the body, whether it's inside the box, whether it's outside the box, and a right footer, bam, across the body. You don't have to cut inside. It gives you another option where you can score from very tight angles, especially if you have a player that's special, right? If you've got someone like Ronaldo, you don't have to be perfect. And I also noticed, and I want your opinion on this, if you do a skill move into a long shot, the percentage increases that you're going to score that long shot. And I think this is a fact. It's not just my opinion. I really feel that it's built into the game. If you do a body feint, maybe it's because you're taking space and you're getting the ball out from under your feet, but your percentage of scoring long shots goes up. Now we want to talk about dead center. So this is where you're not necessarily on the right or the left side. And I know you saw a bunch of right-footed examples, but the vice versa would be if you're on the left side, you have a left footer across the body. I just clearly am using right-footed players a lot more. And you will need to aim when you're coming from dead center, as you see in this first freeze frame. So in the previous examples, because of the way that your players angled the body, you don't necessarily have to aim much. You're already facing the way that you're shooting. You see that's on a diagonal one way or the other way. Now from dead center, you're facing like this. So on the left analog stick, you're going to have to aim across the body a little bit. Just a tad bit here. I got a controller, right? Here's the controller. When we're on the controller, we're aiming dead center. It's like a little bit to the left, okay? I don't know if you guys can really see that. Don't overdo it. It doesn't take a long time to kind of figure out what works for you, which players are capable. And this is another area that I've stressed over and over again with people is please use a squad and use some of the players more regularly. Give them 20, 30, 40 games before you go into FUT Champs so you feel comfortable. So you understand what this guy's truly capable of, what he's not capable of. And I've got a bunch of examples just down center. They're going to look relatively simple, and it's all about making sure that even if you're dead center, on the right foot, you're going across. On the left foot, you're then going across. That's where people get lost in the sauce, and I have a good example here where you're going to see a layoff, and I feel when players come off a layoff, they tend to be able to hit it with a little bit more power. And see, the left foot is still central, so I know that I've got to go to the right. If it's on the right foot, I know that I've got to go to the left. It should make a lot of logical sense, and it's going to be all about building good habits. When you're taking long shots or finishing, we all have, from here, we're thinking, and we make mistakes, or we've made bad habits in FIFA, and every year changes, and that's why you have to correct them. When I watch some of the finishing last year from a player like Huge Gorilla, where he was literally ball rolling everywhere and then hit the near post. Every time, hit the near post. He had made a habit that the near post was what he was going to kill it. Now, with the interception, this is another theory of mine. I just think it's a fact. If you overtake possession, and this is why someone like Conte scores a lot of long shots, is you get an advantage. You have a better chance of scoring a long shot after intercepting a pass. EA has built it into their game mechanics, in my opinion. So if I overtake possession and I shoot from that point forward, I've got an increased chance. It feels like they're more overpowered. Like they get a statistic boost. And you're going to see it over and over again. And if you've played a lot of FIFA, then none of this that I'm saying is brand new. You just might not have ever thought about it in too much more depth. Or you might not have seen a video on it. But I swear your statistics, they go up. We've got all these chemistry styles to improve your card. I'm telling you, if your opponent makes a bad defensive error, that is going to give you a statistical boost where you can unload a long shot and you can count on it having a better chance of being on frame. I mean, look at Conte go. No business having the consistency that he's able to put up in this year's installment. He's just one of those players that's so overpowered. And I want to talk about weak foot long shots. Now, this is a bit different. And it's all about the setup, and also you have to have a player that's capable. If he doesn't have a 4-star weak foot and you score with his weak foot from outside the box, it might have been a fluke. And I mean that in the nicest way, because you just don't want to set it up where people that just don't have that in their locker, you don't want to put them in that position over and over again. But it's all about the ball location. So if I was going to hit that on my right foot, I would have the ball out in front of me a little bit more. See how close it is? I'm going to be forced into stepping and taking that with my left foot. And I'm also not going to be shooting across the body now. I'm aiming the same post. You're basically challenging the goalkeeper with power. It's similar to when you have a free kick, and you've seen this in real life. I'm going to use a real life example. You're on the edge of the box, and you can either go over the wall or you can go the strong side, and you can challenge the goalkeeper. But you're going to have a lot of power in order to do that. This is the same type of premise where you're on often your weak foot. It doesn't have to be, but often it's your weak foot. You've cut inside. You're going to challenge the goalkeeper on his strong side. You're showing him where it's going, but it does work. It's another power shot. You've got to connect. And in terms of aiming, you can't get too crazy. If you try to aim this, it's going to swerve too far. You've got to line it up with your body, and you can see it with these players. They get this tiny angle where you just see me cut in, making it a little bit easy, and you power that bad boy up, and you're hoping that your player has enough shot power to really challenge that goalkeeper. It's going to be harder to do it against the likes of a Neuer or maybe a De Gea, but it definitely works versus a lot of the mid-tier goalkeepers with a higher level of success. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to drop the thumbs up. Remember to get in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts, especially regarding if you do a skill move or if you intercept. Do you feel that there's a statistical boost? Because I do. I truly believe that there's something built into the game. And you guys have talked about momentum, and maybe that plays a part. You execute a good skill combo, you get a momentum boost. If you intercept the ball, that's a mistake from your opponent. You get a momentum boost. But I'm looking forward to everybody shaking it up, getting some dialogue rolling, and I'll have a lot more content come for you ASAP.